Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. I urge you to follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in commercial or residential real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in the lovely city of Houston, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you this week. As always, my co-host is not only a multi-time author, he's a Texas real estate broker, serial entrepreneur, and also high-producing business consultant, and also apparel designer. I would like to introduce to the audience the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. LarryWBrooks. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going down? I love your introductions, man. What can I say, man? You fire me up every week with them.
Hey, man,
I'll be my own drum roll for a moment, though.
Hey, brother, you put any more fishing rods into the water, man, your introduction going to be 10 minutes long. So it's a lot of things going on. Man. But first things first, man, I got to ask you about the hat. That's a new debut.
This is a new, man. It's that new Pew Hustle, man.
What's that? That's that international Pacific Ocean blue. Like, what's that color right there, man?
It's that navy blue, man. That's why I had to pop it off with a little old navy blue collar polo, man.
Let everybody know where they can get those hats from, brother, man. Hey, they definitely want to check for that.
No doubt about it. For all our listeners that's out there, most definitely go to purehustlenation.com. You can cop the hats, the baseball shirts, the tees that we got, short sets, man. It's just an amazing site. It's over the last year, Pure Hustle has grown to not just be here in the city of Houston, but nationwide, man. We got orders that's coming in on a daily basis from all over. So think Pure Hustle and check it out, man.
You know, man, I'm really excited about today's episode, man. We have two really dynamic leaders and speakers with us here today. They represent the Equinox Realty Group, and I really want to thank them publicly for carving some time out of their busy schedules.
Hard to catch up with them.
To sit in with Oh, come on, man.
I've been knowing them for some time. It's hard to get them on.
Hey, look,
here,
and we're going to go into how long, you know what I'm saying, we've all had the opportunity to interact, if not firsthand, but through people, man. So that's the great thing about being in this particular business.
Yeah.
But before I introduce our guests, I want to make sure we both give our heartfelt condolences and prayers for justice to the family of Mr. Ahmaud Arbery down in Georgia. I want everybody to know, their friends and family know that everyone here at the Prime Real Estate Network supports you all, and we're praying for you daily. I want everybody to be strong, and we're hoping for justice for you and your family.
Yes, indeed.
But without any further ado, I first would like to introduce the top producing real estate rock star over at Equinox Realty Group, Ms. Porshae Brown.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there go your applause.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sitting in with us. And I would also like to introduce not only the broker over at Equinox Realty Group, but he's currently a candidate for the Houston Association of Realtors Board of Directors. And I want to urge all real estate professionals to get out there, and it's going to be vote time.
Absolutely.
And I would like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience our guest, Mr. Jay Bradley.
Man, I appreciate you.
AKA that boy, AKA Larry, AKA I'm usually Jay, like AKA sometimes you don't know. It's an inside joke. But
Exactly,
Oh, man.
exactly.
I want to thank both of y'all for sitting in with us, man. First things first, Jay. Let's talk about your candidacy for the board of directors. This is something that right now, since we're going through a lot of change from a professional standpoint and most people's personal family dynamics have been changed a little bit, I want to make sure we get the word out about the election, when it's going to be held, and how all the real estate professionals that are a member of the Houston Association of Realtors can get out and make sure they vote for you.
Absolutely, man. So, of course, you know, the vote is an electronic ballot that's done through the HAR website. It's going to be at the top when you log in. There's some amazing candidates. This year is the deepest race that I've seen, where there's literally 6 people per category, if not more. When there's usually one or two, so it's I think it's because people of COVID, people have been at home and had time to, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it this year. I got time. So which is good though, man. I mean, anything that's going to allow people to actually get involved in the process, not just, we're all in real estate, we're all making money to take care of our families, whether that's you by yourself or that's a family of 5 or 10. But at the end of the day, how are we going to affect change in the community through our real estate community? And we have a huge platform in which to do that. Right. And a lot of us don't. And I'm raising my hand. I've been in this business for 20 years, and I didn't get involved until about 3 or 4 years ago, and did I had the pleasure of being top 20 realtors under 40 with HAR, and then TRLP, which is one of the most amazing experiences that I've had in real estate, and an immense amount of knowledge and education. And then top 20 HBREA, and it's just taking that to the next level, next part of the process, which is being a part of the change.
You know, a question I think is really interesting, I'd like for you to share your thoughts with the public about, is that as a real estate broker, you have already shown that you've had the vision to lead and to build an organization where you can not only service the agents that work with you, but also your clients. What is it that motivated you to want to lead even further by running for a board seat? Because there's already so many things on your plate, being a broker and a leader, but now you're a leader amongst leaders. What is it that led to you being motivated to take on that type of responsibility?
First of all, shout out to the question. Man, I mean, we just started off usually just get in the pool and kind of tiptoe a little bit down and then just kind of get stretching. We just diving deep. Let's do it. 18 feet. Let's go. Okay. Man, Oprah Winfrey over here. So that's a great question.
Before you answer, it's a great question. But from somebody that follows you, that watches your moves, it just seems like a national progression for you. Like it's just me just being a friend that just like, hey, you here, you're there, you're in all of the leadership spots already. It just seems like, you know, I mean, I don't mean to take the question from you. No. I'm just on the outside looking in. I pointed, if I had to say, if someone asked Larry who should be running for a seat, I'd be like Jay Bradley. He needs to be a part of all of that. So, but go ahead, my man. I'm sorry. I just thought about that.
Hey, that's love. I appreciate that, man. Can I hug? Can we get a hug? Wait till after Corona. We'll do the elbow until after Corona. But no, I appreciate that, man. And I think there is a natural progression, like you said. And it's, you know, starting the company in 2017 after being a broker at RE/MAX and being a top producer at Keller Williams and having all these other great experiences and learning from, as you know, when you're at other brokerages, you learn from the leader.
That's right. Absolutely.
One of my main mentors that got me into real estate, of course, is my father. You know, a lot of people don't know that my father actually did commercial real estate as I was growing up.
Wow.
And so I saw him develop areas and develop corners. He worked for Chevron. And so those Chevron McDonald co-brand stores that you see, he's the one that brought those to Texas and brought them to Georgia.
Wow.
So
you're right,
seeing him be passionate about, and anybody that knows me knows, I love to negotiate. Put me on a deal, we got it. We in there. We in there. Because I'm passionate about it, man. And that's really where, as an agent, we can affect the change for our clients. So, and I am looping this back around to your question. So in one of my mentors was Neil Reed. And so what I saw with him is the way that he led. Neil was,
RP Neil.
Man, Neil was such a calm dude. He had 1,000 agents.
Yeah, I remember Neil a few times. Yeah.
Hey, Jay, come on in, man. We used to shop, man. I got his fashion up, man. I was used to shop at bag rack, so I used to go through the magazines. Neil, pick this one out, pick this one out. And he's okay, Jay, we'll get that. So long story short, man. And Neil was like, 68 at the time, something like that, man, before he passed, man. But so you get a chance to learn from all these other great leaders.
Right.
So I can't take any leadership credit for myself. But there becomes a responsibility at a certain point that when you have a certain amount of knowledge, are you just going to keep it for just you? Right? Or are you going to be able to hopefully mentor some people and help them, create careers for themselves and create them to be entrepreneurs? Anybody that joins our company, I don't want you just to be a real estate agent. I want to teach you how to be a business owner. Okay? Because a real estate agent, you can go out there, you can make some money. Okay, cool, drive a nice car, this and that, and look pretty in the picture. But what are you going to do as far as helping not just your family, but the families around you? It's my job and my responsibility to take care of people that have my last name.
That's right. No doubt about it.
What about those that don't look like me and that don't have my last name? What am I going to do to affect change for them? So that's really what it's about. Right. It's about being able to help in areas where I previously wouldn't, just sitting behind a desk and making a trip to the bank.
No, that's a great segue because me and Larry don't always have the luxury of having leaders like yourself on, while at the same time having one of their top producing real estate rock stars able to sit in with them as well. And the reason that's so important, and I want to ask you this question, Porshae, is from an outsider's perspective, when you were first becoming licensed, becoming an agent and working in real estate, what was it about the Equinox Group that made you want to be a part of the organization, to be around like-minded professionals? What was one of the things that drew you towards working with Jay?
Okay, so one thing that I love personally doing is networking. I like being around other people that I've never met before because there's been so many great opportunities that I get to actually work with and do business with people that I just met. So that afforded me a lot of opportunity. So I met Jay at a networking event. I wasn't actually in the mind frame of moving brokerages from the brokerage that I was with at that time, but I met him and I was like, dang, I like the vibe, and you know, he's doing something that I probably aspire to do sooner than what I thought.
Right.
So it just came out that way. And then once we, you know, had a couple of interviews, he interviewed me and I interviewed him.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
And just seeing how we could work together and get me to the point where I see my business growing, and not having to go through so many failures beforehand, because now I have a mentor that is a broker who's been there, done that. I didn't know that's what I was searching for, but I just happened to find it.
No, what's interesting about your answer to that question is that I didn't know that you had experience with other brokerages before working with Equinox, which just leads me to want to ask you, when you were out networking, developing those skills to be successful in real estate, and you've seen leadership at your first brokerage and you've seen how it is to be at Equinox, what type of advice would you give a newly licensed agent or an agent that may feel like they're floundering where they are? What is it that gave you the strength to say, maybe I might need a change? Okay. Maybe I need to have mentorship and training from another resource. Because I know a lot of that's scary, especially when you're working with something for the first time, making that change. So what was going through your mind at that time?
So like I stated previously, I wasn't actually in the mindset of moving brokerages because I was comfortable. Okay. I was okay with where I was, but then I was comfortable. Right. And I knew that if I wanted to excel in my business and as a person and all of these different things, I had to be uncomfortable. I had to get uncomfortable, and I had to be okay being uncomfortable. So meeting Jay, he was that push that I needed that I didn't know that I needed. And he was doing things, I'm like, dang, I like that. I see myself doing that in my own lane, my own way, but just having that connection with someone. I was like, I can do this. I don't have to go to multiple departments, multiple people to get the answer that I'm looking for. So that's super important. And I was at a larger brokerage, so you know, going to a boutique brokerage, I saw benefits in doing that. And for anyone who's in the business of real estate, you have to find your way on your own. You know, it's really good to, you know, seek answers from people who you see doing things. And that's what I did before I got into real estate. I asked tons of questions. I'm very analytical, so I needed to know I was making the right decision before actually doing that. And like I said, he interviewed me and I interviewed him. He asked people about me and I asked people about him. I was like, is this the right decision?
Due diligence is the key.
I mean, most definitely. And, you know, still to this day, I'm very pleased with the decision that I made. And it's only challenged me every step of the way, and I'm grateful for that.
You know, that's great. And, you know, and I want to make sure we get into this when we come back from our break, but I want to ask Jay and yourself a little bit about your life before real estate.
Okay.
A lot of times, especially as leaders and entrepreneurs, people see the finished product.
Right.
But for our audience today, I want to help give our viewers and listeners some insight into how both of you evolved and the trail that you had to blaze to be where you are and as successful as you have been. So I'd like to get into that a little bit once we take our break, if you don't mind.
That sounds great.
Everyone, stay tuned to the Prime Real Estate Network. We'll be right back after hearing a short message from our sponsors.